ICYMI. In case you missed it, we're taking it back to one of the most unforgettable, controversial, and debated races in Formula One history. The 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The season finale, the showdown, the climax of a year-long war between two drivers operating at the peak of their powers. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. By the time the checkered flag dropped, one driver had claimed the world title, the other had the world's sympathy and the GOAT race. It was never the same. This is the story of Abu Dhabi 2021. What actually happened, how we got there, and why it remains one of the most important races in Formula One history. Heading into the final round of the 2021 season, the standings couldn't have been tighter. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen were tied at 369.5 points each. It's rare in F1 to have a title fight go all the way to the last race. But to have it completely equal? That's historic. This wasn't just about winning a race. This was about legacy, about defining a generation. Max, the rising star, the rebel, the risk-taker. Lewis, the seven-time world champion, the statesman, the symbol of dominance. Red Bull versus Mercedes. Aggression versus experience. One race to settle it all. When the lights went out, Lewis Hamilton got a rocket of a start. He launched off the line and beat Max into turn 1. But Max wasn't giving up that easily. By turn 6, he made a lunge down the inside, forcing Hamilton wide. Lewis cut the chicane, kept position, and stewards deemed no further investigation necessary. Controversial? Definitely. But play on. From that point forward, Lewis controlled the race. He was quick, consistent, and calm. His pace on the hard tires was superior. Lap by lap, the Mercedes pulled away from the Red Bull. Max, struggling with tire wear, didn't seem to have an answer. Red Bull took a gamble, pitting Max early for a set of hard tires. Mercedes held their nerve. They kept Lewis out. Eventually, they brought him in, and despite the undercut attempt, Lewis stayed ahead. Enter Checo. Now here's where the strategy chess match hit another level. Red Bull played their team card, Sergio Perez. Checo stayed out on worn tires, perfectly positioned to slow down Hamilton. And what followed was arguably one of the most clutch team drives in F1 history. For over a lap, Perez held off a much faster Hamilton. He didn't make it easy. He didn't give it up. He made that Red Bull as wide as a truck. Max behind was flying, closing in lap by lap. By the end of the sequence, Verstappen had clawed back 8 seconds. Hamilton, clearly rattled, came over the radio. That was some dangerous driving. But that wasn't dangerous. That was world-class defending. That was Checo doing exactly what a team needs in a title fight. And it brought Max right back into the picture. Cruising to destiny? Still, it looked like Lewis had this in the bag. Even with Max closer, Hamilton had control of the race. He was managing the gap, conserving his tires and keeping it clean. 10 laps to go. 5 laps to go. He was on his way to his 8th World Championship, and with it, a spot at the very top of the GOAT conversation. Then came lap 53. The crash. Nicholas Latifi lost control of his Williams and hit the barriers. The safety car was deployed. Suddenly, the gap disappeared, and so did the certainty. Max pitted immediately for fresh, soft tires. Lewis, stuck between a rock and a hard place, stayed out on his old hards. Track position over tire advantage. Here's where things got chaotic. The Massey moment. Initially, the FIA stated that lapped cars would not unlap themselves. A few moments later, that decision was reversed. But only 5 lapped cars, the ones between Max and Lewis, were allowed to unlap. No one else. This was not standard protocol. Then came the call. Safety car in this lap. No warning, no consistency, no time for Mercedes to respond. And suddenly we were racing again. 1 lap to go. Max on fresh softs, Lewis on worn hards. No lapped cars between them. Just raw, unfiltered chaos. One lap shootout. And so it came down to this. One lap to settle the season. Turn 5, Max sent it. He dived down the inside. No hesitation. No mercy. Lewis tried to come back in turn 9, but he didn't have the grip. Max had the line. Max had the tires. Max had the championship. He crossed the finish line as the 2021 Formula One World Champion. The first Dutchman to ever do it. The end of an era. The beginning of another. But behind the celebrations, the firestorm had already begun. The fallout. Mercedes were outraged. They filed protests immediately after the race. Fans online were livid. Pundits were split. The debate? Nuclear. Had Lewis been robbed? Did Max deserve it? Did the FIA manipulate the finish to create drama? The truth is complicated. Max Verstappen did nothing wrong. He raced when the lights were green. He took the opportunity when it came. He drove like a champion all season long, aggressive, relentless, fearless. He earned that title. But the process? That's what tainted it for so many. Michael Masi, the race director, was heavily criticized. The rules weren't followed in full. The consistency wasn't there. And that's what sparked the controversy. Was it unfair to Lewis? Absolutely, in the eyes of many. He did everything right. He was flawless, and he still lost. And yet, that moment became part of Formula One history. The GOAT question. So what does Abu Dhabi 2021 mean for the GOAT debate? For Hamilton, it was a chance to go 8. The only man to do it. To break Schumacher's record and stand alone. That didn't happen. For Max, it was the first of what's now become a dominant era. Since that race, he's gone on to become the face of a new generation, racking up win after win, rewriting records of his own. Abu Dhabi 2021 was a moment of transition. It didn't end a career, but it shifted the narrative. Max arrived. Lewis, perhaps, was never given a fair ending to that chapter. And yet, that's F1. It's brutal, it's beautiful, it's unfair, but it's real. Abu Dhabi 2021 wasn't just a race. It was a flashpoint, a test of rules, character, and sportsmanship. And whether you side with Max or Lewis, it's a moment no one will ever forget. The GOAT race is still wide open. Max is chasing legacy. Lewis is chasing redemption. And we're lucky enough to witness it all. Let us know what you think. Was Max the rightful champion? Did Lewis get robbed? And does that one lap change how you see greatness? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. We'll see you in the next one.